One News. I am Lindsey and I am your reporter for today's show. So, today's news is about unemployment in Malaysia. Before we jump to our analysis about unemployment in Malaysia, Britney Wilod will give a brief introduction about unemployment in Malaysia. Britney, it's your turn. Excuse me.
Thank you, Leanna. I am Britney Wilod and now I'm going to talk about what is the definition of unemployment. In 2019, a new virus has been discovered. It is called coronavirus disease, or also known as COVID-19. This virus has officially characterized as pandemic because of the rapidly increasing numbers of cases all around the world. Due to the pandemic of COVID-19, our country faced increasing in unemployment rate. If we look onto this chart of Malaysia's unemployment rate in 2020, the unemployment rate on June 2020 was 4.9% and fell to 4.7% on July 2020. The number of unemployed persons from June 2020 are 773.2 thousand persons, while for July 2020, the unemployed persons are 745.1 thousand. Here, we can see the number of unemployed persons have decreased by 28.1 thousand persons, but still it is a big number. So why there are so many unemployed persons and what is the real definition of unemployment? Well, unemployment exists when there are people who are willing and able to work but unable to find suitable jobs at certain level of wage rate. Besides, unemployment rate can also be defined as a situation where labor force participants are available or willing to work but unable to find jobs. For your information, the age between 15 to 65 years is considered as the labor force. As a matter of fact, there is no way we can possibly achieve 0% of unemployment rate in any economy because some people will be unemployed while changing jobs. However, according to William Henry Beveridge, who is also a British economist, if the unemployment rate is no more than 3%, then the full employment rate can be achieved. That's me reporting live, back to the studio.
Hi, my name is Eva Ann Shylla Jarin, and today we will talk about the unemployment rate that have been happening in our country. As we all know, unemployment is the major macroeconomics problem that our country have been facing lately. And this we can see due to the pandemic COVID-19 that the cases have been rising since March 2020. Most of the employees have been losing their job drastically. We can take a look at the AirAsia company. This company requires people to travel from one place to another. And same goes to the employees themselves. And I believe that since nowadays, the restrictions have been very strict on the traveling state. So this we can see that the employers have been lessening the number of their employees to meet the ground of their company. And this we can see that the COVID-19 have been putting a lot of effect on how the unemployment rate have been drastically rising in our country. The conclusion is government should take ways or should take better solution to prevent this from happening. That's all from me. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Natalie and now I'm going to talk about the article analysis. Based on the article that I have chosen, I can declare that the rate of unemployment in Malaysia between year 2019 and 2020, it has been increased drastically from 15.84 million of employed person to 15.23 million. That shows a very big difference. The factor is due to the virus outbreak that harms a lot of people, and the government decided to announce movement control order. During the MCO, many companies cannot run properly and the market demand also decreased. So the company need to lessen their production and This leads to loss of job for so many people. With the decision of the companies to lessen the production, they will also need to reduce the number of workers, so they will only suffer minor losses and not major. Other than that, people who work by themselves also will be unemployed and won't be able to gain income. They also won't be able to find another job during the pandemic. That's all from me. Thank you.
Back to me again. The article that I've analyzed is Malaysian jobless shoot up to 826,100 in MCO era in May. Most unemployment in 2020 yet. As we can see through this article, the cause of unemployment rate is because of the COVID-19 that forced a lot of working sector to close down, such as tourism sector or any sector that will gather people around. We can see through this graph that the rate from March 2020 to May 2020 is very serious. With this kind of unemployment rate, it will surely affect our gross domestic product demand. I believe that the increasing of this unemployment rate is unintentionally. Because of this situation, many companies has gone to bankruptcy and forced themselves to let go their worker, and because of that, many people are become employed and the unemployment rate is increasing. After this MCO, I believe that the economy and the unemployment rate will be improved again because more sector will be allowed to be open with strict opening procedure. The implementation may allow businesses to regain their momentum while business opportunity emerge as demand change followed with the new norms. This in turn is expected to retain employment, create new jobs, and put hiring. Thank you.
So, Assalamualaikum to everyone. My name is Nurul Binti Basirun, and today I will talk about the topic of unemployment. So, basically, unemployment is a negative issue that may arise in every country around the world. As long as a person is involved in the labor market, he or she may one day become unemployed. Once unemployment issue is not solved, creation of problem to the unemployed graduates, nation, society, and even the country will certainly arise. Theoretically, industrial economies are cyclically sensitive as such when it expands. Factors including employment, sales price, and profits will rise. However, when it contracts, downturns are inevitable and significant. When our national economy is in recession, many firms and companies are closed down. It will cause unemployment rate to increase. A significant loss towards the nation will arise due to this serious problem. Solution for the unemployment problem is priority of the government to include in the national economic planning and policy. During 2003, Malaysia was hit by double critical incident which were severe acute respiratory syndrome, which is SARS and Iraq War. Unemployment rate was 3.8%, which has increased to 0.1%. There was an immediate effect from the outbreak of SARS and Iraq War due to the large amount of inter-regional trade. SARS and Iraq War have triggered a global downturn that will affect the world economy into recession and lowered world growth forecast. SARS epidemic was concentrating in Asia, which is the fastest growing economy in the world, and that has basically been keeping the world economy to float. Malaysia has gone through its Asia financial crisis during 1997. Thus, Malaysia has the ability to combat and survive during the subprime crisis. Some effort of the policymaker have made strengthen the domestic economy. Policymaker has implemented several monetary policy as well as fiscal policy to stimulate the economy. Furthermore, if the nation's unemployment continues to be severe, riots and insurgency will be occurring across the country and happening the country trading. But based on the information that I get, there are 4 various factors which influence unemployment, which is consumption, government expenditure, and trade. Employees fear about losing their job during a time of high unemployment and not being able to find another job. So, because of that, since it's not easy to be employed in this current era, employees are less likely to abandon unsatisfactory position. Government tax income will also be impacted by higher employment rates. This is because more people are leaving their jobs, contributing to drop in the government revenue from income tax. For your information, Malaysia are not free every day from all nations around the world to take part in and to deal with crime issues. The economic climate continues to be most important macroeconomic force that influence violence. When the country economy becomes more stable, healthier and stronger, more opportunities will become available for citizens to invest in the nation's workforce.
According to the article here, I can proclaim that our country's unemployment rate will increase in any month due to a sharply slowed down economy that our country faces right now. There is also stated in the article where the lead economists predict that unemployment rate will be even worse in the second quarter. Meaning by here, the cause of the decreased unemployment rate might come from people who got fired from their job or company that has been declared as bankrupt. The reason why people got fired is usually because the company has many workers and the company cannot pay all of the workers' salary due to the pandemic that makes their business slow down. Therefore, we should be ready in any circumstances that might come in our way, such as financial problem.
After going through all the explanation that my friend had been presenting just now, we can see that the unemployment rate in Malaysia is not a joke to do. Well, we have seen this from since March 2020, where mostly the company had been lowering the number of employees in their company, in their firms, so that they can meet the ground of each of the company. And this, after going through all the issue, our group have decided to put up with this measurement, which is the monetary policy, to solve this problem. In our opinion, our groups have implemented that the government should itself implement the expansionary monetary policy to increase money supply using the instrument of the first one is open market operations. The central bank buy government's securities, short-term bonds or treasury bills in the open market from the public to increase money supply. Hence, consumption and investment will increase aggregate demand and production and reducing cyclical unemployment. Due to the COVID-19, the cyclical unemployment have been happening in our country. And I believe that it is very hard for most of the workers out there to seek a new job at this time. So, in our opinion, the government should implement these open market operations in order to meet the ground of each of the employees so that more or less it can help them to gain securities on their incoming job.
So, monetary policy is the economic mechanism used in a country by its government in order to reach macroeconomic goals such as inflation, investment, productivity, and liquidity. Involves money supply and interest rate management. This taxation is strategy required for cutting interest rate, which is this means higher rates decrease the price of interest. This is enable people to spend and save. This increases labor demand, which is also lead to raising gross domestic product in reducing unemployment. In addition, lower rates of interest will minimize the exchange rate and make economy better. In certain cases, higher interest rate might fail to increase in demand. It aims to increase capital supply and aggregate demand. For a sustained time, a country could keep interest rate down was a very positive. For a sustained time, a country could keep interest rate down was a very positive factor. We would not have had a high demand for labor, which has brought many people jobs, keep many people in the labor force, and generate higher wage increases. If we increases interest rate 2 or 4 or more years ago, as some economists recommended, we should not hurry into raising interest rate now, but rather permit the employment rate to begin to decrease. And as the next crisis occurs and unemployment continues to increase, the levels of support can be reduced from anywhere possible to none. If this reduction is not adequate to sustain low employment, so quantitative easing and other steps must again to be used. Although these new instruments are less well known than interest rate adjustment, variations are linked to policy mechanics and not to simple values. So their relative novelty should not to be discouraged.
In our conclusion, the main cause of increasing unemployment rate of Malaysia nowadays is because of the pandemic COVID-19. However, Malaysia once had achieved full employment rate, and we believe we can achieve the full employment again. Due to the issue we have been facing nowadays, it is crucial for people to cope with this new situation. Trying to adopt with the new issue is one of the best way, and always seek for new opportunity everywhere. The increasing data of unemployment maybe seems bad, but by looking at the bright side, unemployment is also a natural pace experienced by healthy economies. So, let's hope that this phase will soon be over. Thank you.
So this is the end of our news for today. In conclusion, unemployment has caused a society more than just the financial problems. Unemployed individuals not only lose their income, but also they are facing challenges such as physical and mental health. In a nutshell, due to this pandemic of COVID-19, we should get ready to any challenges that might come to us, such as financial problems, because prevention is better than cure. Thank you.